How crazy is that?
Insane.
For those of you who are new here, my name is Griselda. I am the founder of Be Game Ready. We do online programs for health and fitness, all about creating a brand new relationship to the body. It's really awesome. And I'm here in Los Angeles and here to spread what Be Game Ready is all about. I have my partner, Miss India Wallace, all the way in Germany. It is 12 p.m. here. It is 9 p.m. in Germany.
Check it out though. It's 9 p.m. and that's how light it is outside.
That's crazy. Does it throw you off?
Yes.
She's from California. She's from LA. So
that's right. I'm used to living so much closer to the equator where the time, like the daylight doesn't have such a wide change. It's mind-boggling. And then it gets dark at like 4 p.m. in the wintertime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's where we are. That's who we are. And we also have a special guest with us. We have one of our participants, longtime participant, actually. It's Pacorn. Pacorn, say hello.
Oh,
yourself.
Did she freeze? Oh,
Hi, everyone. Hello, hello.
Hi, Pacorn. He joined us for a little co-working session and then he's just staying on because he's awesome.
Well, he's also here because we shared with him about like what we're doing in the live stream. So you want to say anything about that? Introduce who you are and why you're here.
Wow. Okay. Pacorn here. I'm sitting in Long Beach, California. I love that we're international and across all stages and countries and things like that. Long time, I was gonna say long time listener, but long time participants and friends and things like that. But no, working with these guys and just kind of seeing what is there today, and it's got interested in the working out and what you guys have to share and say today. So I'm just here to see, so observing and participating. So good to see everyone.
So glad to have you. All right, are we getting into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So for those of you who haven't been with us before, these live streams right now is an opportunity that we're taking to discover the pioneers of fitness, some of the people throughout history have really influenced health and fitness and made great strides or really contributed something. And each month we're taking on a different facet of fitness. So last month of April was all about strength training. We looked at people who've made a difference there. And this month we are looking into cardio, different forms of cardiovascular fitness. And today we are going to introduce ourselves to Miss Lottie Burke. And she is the woman who founded the BAR method. So Pacorn, are you familiar with BAR? You can just nod or shake your head.
I've heard of it, but I don't know much.
Yeah. So this is like Pilates. This is one of those things that I only thought of that it was modern. Like I thought, oh man, this is like a modern trend, or like I only saw this sort of starting to crop up in 2000, the early 2000s. Turns out BAR has been around since the 1950s. So I'm going to do a history of BAR. It's gotten a fascinating history. This is a little more than I usually go into these, but this just simply has to do with the fact that BAR has an incredible, interesting history that a lot of people don't know about. And I wanted to introduce us to Lottie Burke, who she was, what she was all about, and then we're going to do some of the BAR techniques that she developed. So let's get into it. So Lottie Burke was born in Cologne, as we say in English, or Köln for those of us who live in Germany. She was born in Cologne, Germany in 1913, and she grew up in pre-war Germany. And as a young woman in the early teens in the 1920s, she pursued a career as a dancer. And that's where she met her husband, Ernst Burke, who was a really, really well-known, famous choreographer and dancer himself. And Lottie was Jewish, and both she and her husband were part of the Communist Party, and they had really strong anti-Nazi sentiment. And they were really they were working against the Nazi Party. And as that party grew in Germany in the 1930s, the restrictions on Jewish performers got more and more and more strict. And so in 1935, she and her husband were completely banned from performing on stage in Germany. And thankfully, Ernst had dual citizenship with the UK because one of his parents was British. So they've moved, they completely relocated themselves to Britain. And that's where they stayed. And so for the next 15 years, all through the war, all through the 1930s and 40s, Lottie worked as a dancer. She worked as a model. She was really in the performing arts, and she made a lot of great contributions in that area alongside her husband. But then in the 1950s, she was seeing her body begin to deteriorate. She was getting more and more injuries. She was dealing with lower back problems, and she had this growing concern about the aging body, especially the aging body of a dancer. So she began working with an osteopath, and that's what we would call chiropractor, to develop a series of exercises that incorporated ballet and yoga and rehabilitative strength training. And here's the cool thing. So as she was practicing and discovering like strengthening her body and specifically focusing on like strengthening the pelvic floor to help with the lower back and all of that, she found that not only her injuries were healing and her strength was increasing, she discovered that having this newfound strength was really contributing to her enjoyment of sex. And so in I know, is that crazy? So in
Hey.
in 1959, she opened what's called the Manchester Street Studio, and it's no longer there, but it was there for quite a long time. And it was like many fitness studios of the day, it was gender specific. So it was only women were there, but she was also very specific about that because the technique that she was developing was explicitly designed to help women and empower women to discover sexual strength and sexual freedom. So she designed her techniques to help women's sex drive and stamina, and she wanted to advance what she called the state of sex for women through encouraging them to pursue sex for the sake of their own pleasure and enjoyment. And you guys, like, that doesn't sound very amazing right now in this day and age, but this was 1959. I mean, like, this was just at the very cusp of the 1960s sexual revolution and women's liberation movement. I mean, like, this was unprecedented, revolutionary kind of thinking. And her movement, this is the precursor to what we all know now as bar, the bar method, the bar technique, was explicitly sexual. So she would talk openly about sex during classes, and all the exercises had names like the prostitute or the sex. Like, it was like really explicit. It was amazing. So she got a lot of followers. Like, women just flocked to her. They loved her. And in the 1970s, specifically 1971, a woman named Lydia Bach, who just had discovered her in England but was American, brought the Lottie Burke method to America, and she continued its legacy of sexual liberation. So this was now at like the height of the women's lib movement. So she described the Lottie Burke method, the bar method, as a combination of modern ballet, yoga, orthopedic exercise, and sex.
I love that.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And you've Cosmo, the magazine we all know, Cosmopolitan. It promoted the technique specifically as a form of exercise to build sexual confidence and competence. It's just amazing.
You hear that, lady? Like, no one is watching right now, but if you're watching the replay later, like, hey, this is for you. Give this one a try.
Now, this is interesting. So that's the foundation. Like, that's bar. That's where it came from. That's who it came from. That was its history. But that's not the bar that we all know today. So something happened. And that's what's really fascinating is when you take bar classes, a lot of the time, if you kind of pay attention, you're like, wow, all these moves are like very sexy because it's the same moves, but like sex is never mentioned. It is completely taboo. So there was this huge shift that happened starting in the 1980s that shifted the focus away from sex and toward strength training and body sculpting. And that primarily had to do with economy, like economics, because essentially the main thrust of the women's liberation movement was over, and like the getting women to express themselves sexually was no longer like the focus. And the fitness industry, if you've seen, like what's that movie with the stripper lady who does all the exercise?
Is that a recent movie?
No, it's in the 1980s. Jennifer
Oh,
Grey. I always want to say Footloose because it came out like at the exact
I am
same
the wrong
time.
person. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Anyway, the whole focus for the 1980s was like body sculpting, and like bodybuilding became real. It was all about muscle, and sculpting your body. So the bar method slowly just lost its erotic overtones, and the focus just became strength. Even though you were doing the exact same movements, it was all in the context of strength building and body sculpting instead of sex. And that has just carried over. So it's not like there was like some huge switch. It just kind of grew. That shift just was organic in terms of like what was marketable at the time and what could make people more money and what was franchisable and all of that. So as with all techniques though, bar itself has evolved and it's branched off and it's got all sorts of formats. And so there are some bar franchise owners that ignore the sexual origins, don't talk about it. They just won't. I was reading an article where a person found out that the lady writing the article was about the sexual history of bar, and they were like, no, we won't talk to you. I was like, whoa, okay. And then there's the other end of the spectrum, which is like there's a woman who's working to bring sex back into bar, and like the whole focus of it is that. So what's really cool is that we've moved into a time now where you can make a choice about the experience and focus that you want to have while you're doing it, while you're performing it. Like it's wherever you are, whatever you want to experience, there's a class and a technique available to you, which I think is really great. So that's bar, you guys. I had no idea.
I'm so glad you're the one that's doing all this research. That's great.
It's just fascinating. It is so fascinating. So, and I love, my exercise specificity love is strengthening the pelvic floor and the glutes. And same exact thing. I deal with the same thing of like, how do you focus on that and keep it PG, but also give the message that like, but it really does help if you're interested in improving your sexual stamina, like do this. So I love that this conversation has been going on since like the 1960s. Like it's so great. Anyway, we are going to try some of the Lottieberg technique today. And I didn't watch the whole video, but it seems to be not sexually oriented. It's not erotic. I think it's moved. This video specifically is we had moved past that phase already. But yeah, so it's going to be with a chair. So if we're doing it, you got to make sure you've got a chair because you'll be using it like a bar. Griselda, take it away.
All right, here we go. I have the sound on low. Should it be?
Because we're going to talk through it. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Like we always do.
Let's begin. Start to lift your knees up into your chest. Add the arms. Opposite arm is leg. Now I want you to push off the floor. Keep lifting. Up. Come on, really push off the floor.
I'm sore from a glute workout yesterday, so lifting my leg is having my glutes be sore.
Spring off the floor. Get used to that. Pushing off the floor. Lifting.
Oh.
Lift your chin up. Lift up tall. That's it. Let let your arms just flow to your side. Lift, lift.
Yeah, I'm sore too. I've started exercising more again. My whole body's like, wait a minute, what the heck?
Use your center to support your back. That's it. Lift.
The whole thing is about developing a body that supports spine and posture.
9, your last one, 10. Step down.
Oh, step down.
Find a
Thank
strong,
God.
sturdy piece of furniture to use.
Find a strong,
Place your
sturdy
hands
piece of
down
furniture,
for
you guys.
support. Look down at your feet and take a wide second position, we call this. But now look at your feet again.
So this one, as a modification, what she's about to
Now bend
do,
your knees over your
you don't have to go up on your toes.
shoulders over your hips. Try to lift your heels up. That's it.
Because that really makes it
Thumbs.
hard.
Hold your center strong. Now try
I like how Picorn did it like once. And then
lift up. Lower
you can just
2.
watch.
Lift. Now I want you to feel right into your thighs. Lift up. Down 4.
Are you doing it on your
Lift
toes
up.
or
Now
just
come down
flat,
to 5.
Griselda?
Hold this one. Don't move yet.
On the toes.
Hold it.
Yep.
Pull in.
Me too.
Relax your seat. Hold it.
I did legs yesterday, so this my legs are shaking.
Oh, mine too.
I also went for like a walk this morning and a little bit of a run. So this is making my
Yep.
legs quite sore.
Same.
Hold still. Pull in. Now try to sing just a little bit lower. Hold it 3 seconds. Hold 1. Hold 2.
Holy crap, dude.
And shake out the legs for a moment.
Oh,
Come right back into it.
good. Oh, come right back into it, damn it.
Like this. Bend your knees. Check your feet. Turn them in. That's it.
Okay.
Bend down into the knees and lift the heels.
Oh,
Let's add
Jesus.
the top. Sit down. Now tip the
I actually love this. This is one of my favorite moves because it really does work the legs, the glutes, the pelvic floor.
That's it.
Ooh, my
Thrust it.
glutes are so,
I know, bro. I know.
I can't right now.
It's burning. God, it's burning.
Now one more. Hold still. Pull in. Shoulders back, chin up. Can you come lower?
Nice.
3 seconds. 1. Hold 2. And
Jesus Christ.
let's get right into our seat section.
I just felt all that like right up,
Place your knees
right up in there.
Support yourself.
Uh,
Into your knees.
oh, we're doing more. Okay.
Hips width.
More. Here we go.
Pull in and tuck under. Now take your outside, your working leg, and extend it back along. Look at my
Okay.
feet. Stretch through your toes. Now I need you to bring the hip and rotate it forward. That's
Okay.
it. Square off your hips. Now pull in
Okay.
and tuck under. Start to lift the leg up.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Up.
This is exactly what I was doing yesterday. I was doing glute kickbacks.
Lift
So
8.
I can't do this.
Lift 9. Now hold
That's
the left
okay.
leg 10.
I'll suffer for you.
Now make sure the hip is square.
Okay, wait, it's supposed to be like a squared hip.
Up. Hold it.
No,
Up. Up. Be still.
no.
Heart cheeks.
Up. Up. Be still.
I'm trying not to swear.
Up. Hold it. 2 more.
Oh, good Lord.
That's okay.
One more. Lift
This
up,
is on
up,
YouTube.
hold it.
There's no child filter.
Oh my God.
Standing foot. Lift up tall. Now 2.
What?
2. Feel the ball. Pull in and tuck under.
Holy
Shoulders gonna
crap.
Press down. Pull in. Your final 15. Lift
So-
1.
I was about to use my rolling chair. I'm so glad that I did it. I'm using my table right now.
Use the abdominal muscles.
Good
Don't
grief.
use
Not only
use a
lift
stable chair, guys. Stable chair, stable table.
I mean, ideally you're using a bar, but yeah, any stable piece of furniture. Good gracious, woman.
Okay, my butt's cramping. I can't do it.
1. 2. Lift up 3.
I'll power through for you.
Shake the leg
I can tell I'm leaning forward too.
Ah,
Hold your breath. Turn right around. Let's do the other side.
Oh, okay. We'll do this last one and then we'll talk about it.
That's your support. Your balance.
Okay, I'm ready, lady.
Feet apart.
Oh, I got to bend my knees.
Ready to begin. Pull
I'm
in,
ready to begin.
Center in.
Tucking in.
Use your tuck.
Yeah.
Wrap your outer thighs.
The tuck.
Press down. Extend your
That's
working leg
a
behind
Lottie
you.
Burke special,
One hand
tucking
is
the
down. You need to
pelvis.
take your outside hip
Yep.
and rotate it forward.
we do this for pole too. That's what our instructor always says. Tuck the pelvis, tuck the pelvis.
Just listen.
Came from Lottie.
You ready?
I mean, it comes from everybody, but like,
Ay, ay, ay.
3,
whew.
4.
Ooh, I can feel that in my hamstrings. All the way.
Keep pulling in, lift. Last 2 up. Now one more lift and hold.
Oh, no.
Double it. Lift up, up, hold it.
My my God.
This is gonna make my butt cramp.
Don't do it if it's gonna make your butt cramp.
Let's finish right away.
Should
Lift
never
not
go
cramping
good
yet.
if it's painful. Oh God, it's the toes that
It's-
kill me. Okay,
It's
here we
not
go.
cramping yet.
Hold your upper body. Last routine, here we go. Let's finish.
Eh.
Lift 2. You have to use energy.
Okay, there we go.
Lift. Good, you're almost there.
Okay, I'm almost there.
Hold it. Lift up. Shoulders
Just
are
gonna
down
stretch
and
the
down. Hold it.
glute right now.
Last 5. 1. Up 2.
I can tell looking at myself in the video like how terrible my form is.
Lift 5. Hold 3 seconds. Hold 1. Pull up 2.
You can see just all that curvature, no pelvic tuck. Oh, okay.
I will not sit down.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna kind of hang out right here for a second. Ah. Oh, I felt that in my glutes and the end of my hammies. Corn, what did you think?
I'm glad I didn't do it with you guys because it seems cool. And I think this is great. Almost like watching you guys. This is a comedy too. You should turn this in. A commentary.
Coaches react. Coaches react.
Exactly. This is what I'm thinking. No, I think it's also it's useful and it's informative too, right? This is what I like about this. I showed up and I got a little bit of everything. So
Well, yeah, and we're about to do the part where we analyze it.
ooh, I love. Okay, keep going, y'all.
Yeah, and then we'll get your opinion after we do the analysis. It's kind of cool to have someone on here sort of with us
Yeah,
as we go
and
through.
I like a blank slate too. That's what I kind of like.
Great. Okay, so we'll go through our typical analysis criteria. First off, first thoughts. Griselda, first thoughts.
It is deceptively challenging.
Yes, I agree. That's the thing that's so interesting about exercise. The smaller and more isolated and more focused it is, the harder it actually is, which is so interesting to me as a connoisseur of exercise and someone who really enjoys looking into it and studying it. It's always the thing where like you're doing one thing, and especially if you're doing it like correctly in a proper form, which I wasn't, it like, man, it works. It really, you don't have to do much. Our friend Tina Chandler, IFBB professional bodybuilder, is always saying that of like small movement, focus, that's where you're actually going to get work done, not going big, doing a ton of stuff.
Yep.
So I noticed that for sure. Highly isolated. Okay.
Yeah.
Difficulty level. What fitness level is this exercise appropriate for?
Well, I would say that if you don't have pre-existing issues with the spine, pre-existing issues with like the hip, this is great for you. And as somebody with like low back pain who's been working on it for some time, if I didn't have the awareness of how to hold the pelvic floor and like brace the torso, this would have been very painful for me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend this to anybody if you have an issue with your spine or your low back.
Yeah,
Unless you've been working on it for some time.
I would say this is not beginner stuff. If you want to do it and get benefit from it, which is I think what you're pointing to, right, Griselda, is like if you actually want to do it as designed and get benefit, this is an advanced technique. Like I would put it, you remember how when we did Pilates and it was like Pilates is really great, but it requires that specialization. Like you kind of have to do it with an expert and someone who's been trained who can look for all the things to make sure you're not hurting yourself. This to me is like in the same domain of it's very easy to hurt yourself doing this if you're not paying attention and you don't have the body awareness. So,
yeah. Yeah, so if you want to try this kind of workout and you're wanting to go to like a bar class, I would say find a bar class that's a little smaller, a little more intimate, so you do get more one-on-one time with the instructor. Because if you're in a class of like 20 people, you may not get that same assistance and direction from the instructor.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. Okay, that being said, what did we think of the quality of movement? We didn't do too many movements.
A
but what
plus.
did we- Yes, A plus. I agree. Goodness gracious, it is so hyper isolated, like and focused very much on small adjustments and really having to activate the inner structural strength muscles. Like,
Yeah.
boom.
I have a question for you. So in doing this workout and what you described as like the nature of this workout, it is more strength training based. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Oh, so this is, yes. Were you talking about like, so why are we doing it in the cardio
yes,
section?
yes.
Yeah. This is because when I put it on the list, I had no clue what it was.
Okay.
Because I'd been to a bar class like 6 years ago, and that was like high intensity sweating out my butt, like craziness. And so that's
Yeah.
what I thought bar was.
Mm,
I had
okay.
no idea. Yeah, I had great catch. I didn't even realize it. But yeah, it's because I had no idea what it was.
All right, guys. So for today's live stream,
Oh, but hold on,
What?
caveat. There's a caveat.
uh,
A lot of modern bar is way more cardio based than this. Like you've got so many branches of bar now that are very much and like a lot of it I guess would fall maybe more like, if we're going to be really specific, it's more like high intensity interval training, so not exactly cardio still, but
I just did a YouTube search for cardio bar. There is a couple from Pop Sugar Fitness, where if we have some time, we can play this just to see like what the difference is.
what the difference is. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Oh God.
Let's do it. Well, we've got 2 more categories, and then we'll do a quick like see what cardio bar is all about.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. So that actually just answered the question of what fitness category. It spans the spectrum. You can, if you can wish it, you can find it. Okay,
Yeah.
and then what did we enjoy about it? What did we not enjoy?
The quality of movement for sure, and we had the volume low, but if you could hear it, she was giving specific instructions for how to hold the pelvis, like where to tuck, where to lengthen, where to strengthen. So that was really, really great.
Yeah, the specificity, right up my alley in that.
Yep.
Specificity, focused movement, isolated, love it.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy how like not prepared for it my body is at the moment. Like, okay, we got to work up to that because my body's where it is right now, given what's been going on with it. And then that's
Yeah, I totally forgot that bars, you feel it like in the legs. I didn't even think about it until we got started. I was like, oh no, there's gonna be plie. There's gonna be lifting the leg.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just like sore from yesterday. I was like, I can't do much with my glutes today.
But that's a great point. Good point for everybody. Criselda worked her legs yesterday. So in a normal exercise regimen, if she really wants to help her body actually develop and grow and continue its journey of release and healing and all of that, this would be a terrible idea, like in a normal day, for Criselda to do a workout that day, and then the next day like go to a bar class or something like that. Like definitely not if what she's interested in is giving her body time to heal and recover and actually gain benefit from the training that she's doing with it. That's actually a really good point. I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, that's why this morning I went for a walk. I did a tiny bit of a run just to get my heart up a little bit. And that's all I was planning on doing today. And then it's just like,
and then we did 10 minutes of bar and threw it all out the window.
Yeah, but this is awesome. I definitely would do this on like maybe a recovery day. Not after a leg day, maybe like a couple days after leg day or like the day after like upper body. I would definitely consider incorporating this.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, before we do the real quick, like just test ourselves out with bar, Pacorn, how about you? What do you think? Is this something you would ever try? Did you learn something? What's your takeaway?
My takeaway is that as you guys are doing it, I'm like, and I heard this before, right? It looks very simple and very basic, but like I know you both do workouts and things like that, and you're like, oh shoot, this is hurting or whatever. Like this is a little bit more planning than it seems. So I think it's one of those things that it takes mentality to do, to like a mindset, and also I think it's one of those that you're not going out to lift like 100 pounds, but it's really effective. It looks like it's effortless, you know? So I think for me, like the takeaway around it is that like, it doesn't have to be super hard for it to be effective, as you guys are showing this. And that it could be simple, you know, and I'm not like, I didn't do the exercise this time, but like, I would totally do it.
Oh,
You
that's
probably
awesome.
to do it. You know, so I think it's a good thing to introduce, kind of, for me when I think of exercise, like, you know, super hard, super beefy, like you have to like lift weights, but this is using your own inner like strength or something like that to do. So I think that's kind of something really cool that you guys are introducing. You can do it, you know, in the office for 10 minutes if you like.
Yes.
That's right.
Good point. It's a great point. Yeah, this is one of those ones where it's like, this is a fun to incorporate minimally throughout the day to keep the body active, keep the body moving. Yeah, brilliant. Well said. Thanks, Pacorn. All right, let's torture ourselves for like 2 minutes. Let's go.
Well, what if we did this? So how about we say our closing remarks, and then we'll finish this off by playing the video. And then at some point I will just fade away. We'll just fade away the video. Y'all can take off if you want to right now. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for.
Oh, she froze.
Finding them. Oh,
wait.
Why do I keep freezing? Hold on.
Okay, now you're good.
See me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. So thank you all for joining us in discovering the pioneers of fitness. Thank you for participating. If you are, we hope that you're getting a lot out of these videos. And
you froze again. All right, well, I'll come where she came in. So she said, thank you. And we hope that you are getting something out of these videos. I think you're back now, Griselda, but I'm just finishing up for you. We love doing it. We love engagement as well. If you can be super fun and be like Pacorn and come actually join us on the live stream, or just participate with us every Tuesday. What is it? Noon in the Pacific region, California time, West Coast, and 9 p.m. if you're in Europe, Germany, or elsewhere. And yeah.
Ooh. Oh, next week, if you want to join, it's we're exploring the creator of Zumba. So come join us then if y'all are interested. So excited. All right, we're gonna end this video by playing the modern cardio bar workout. You can join us if you like. If not, thanks for joining us. We will see you next week.
Bye.
I'm Jake Dupree, and welcome back to ClassFit Sugar. This is a 30-minute
Oh my God.
I don't think we're gonna get that far.
No. No, we're not.
Okay, Jake Dupree,
All right,
let's
to get
do
started,
it.
we're jumping right in the pool. So let's go with a jumping jack out and in, out and in.
Oh,
Light
great.
on the floor. You do not
Okay, I'm not gonna.
hurt a buffalo.
Oh, I'll do the modified version. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Do-
Everybody. And if that's too
Yeah.
much, just do a little step out real cute. Jane Fonda.
Oh,
Richardson,
see, he
let's go
even
for
showed you
10,
how to do the modified
9,
version.
8, 7, 6. Good. 5,
Five,
4, 3,
three.
2, and 1. Feet are hip width apart. Drop the booty low to stand it up
No.
tall. Elbows can
Yeah.
touch your knees.
Uh-huh.
Collect the dollars. Let's go.
And you collect the dollars. Oh no, it froze. Okay, I'm just gonna keep doing this until it comes back. Because I don't know what to do next. Oh. Okay, she stays paused for too long. Just gonna stop. Although it feels kind of good. All right, I'm just gonna do this for a second. And then I think I'll fade us out, but she has the power to to actually end the meeting. Oh no. She's completely frozen and I can't end the stream.
Oh my God, so weird.
That is so weird. Oh my gosh, but I can already tell that's way more cardio focused. Okay, I'm the host now, so I'm going to end the stream there. Corn, as always, it's great to see you.
Great to see you. It's great to see everyone. Hope everyone got a lot out of this. This is fun.
We love it. All right.